Evolution accounts for the diversity of organisms on Earth, and it also explains the unity among them. Evolution is the change in allele frequencies of a population, which over time produces a population with new or modified characteristics. A mechanism of evolution, called natural selection, is a powerful force in adapting populations to their environment. There are 5 primary lines of evidence for evolution. Consider, for example, the forelimbs of humans and porpoises. While the human used her arms for balancing on a surfboard, and the porpoises used their fins for steering underwater, these structures, with their striking differences in appearance and function, have underlying similarities. Each has a humerus, radius and ulna, carpals, and metacarpals and phalanges. Although these bones are extensively modified, they betray the fact that humans, porpoises, and other mammals share a common ancestor. Comparative anatomy helps us piece together Earth's evolutionary past. Scientists use different types of data to help us understand how evolution has occurred in various species. An organism's hard parts, such as bones and teeth, may be preserved as fossils if the organism dies in an environment in which the forces of decomposition are reduced. Fossils help us reconstruct what organisms looked like long ago. The evolutionary history of horses is among the most well-preserved in the fossil record. Many branches existed to the horse's evolutionary tree, but only a single horse genus exists today. The patterns of species distributions across the globe also provide clues to the events of evolution. Consider the birds of Hawaii. Nearly every bird on Hawaii is some sort of small finch-like bird called a honeycreeper. One species of honeycreeper has a long curved bill that evolved to sip nectar from flowers. Other honeycreepers have strong bills that were selected for lifting bark in search of insects. Others use their bills like scissors to open buds and leaves to get the insects or spiders inside. Although these birds may appear only distantly related, molecular evidence shows that they are actually closely related and share a finch-like ancestor that likely originated from the mainland 2,000 miles away. When the ancestors arrived on the islands, they filled new habitats and adapted to them, resulting in many different species of birds. DNA comparisons among different organisms also provide a wealth of evolutionary information. If the genes for hemoglobin molecules are compared among these animals, we can see that the hemoglobins differ relatively little between humans and rhesus monkeys. The amino acid sequences are nearly the same. On the other end of the spectrum, the hemoglobin from a lamprey shows great differences from human hemoglobin. These types of studies allow biologists to estimate how much time has elapsed since any two species shared a common ancestor. Finally, by designing experiments using laboratory organisms or in field studies, we can demonstrate evolution happening on much smaller scales, from one generation to the next in a population. From comparative anatomy, from the fossil record, from biogeography, from molecular biology, and from laboratory and field experiments, we are studying evolution and piecing together the history of life on Earth.